Hi Amiga viewers, and today we're looking at ToolManager again, but this time we're going to look at changing the actual image that's on the ToolManager buttons to rather use brushes to use icons that are actually on your file system themselves, so your MagicWorkbench icons, etc. This makes it a lot easier because you don't have to go off and find your brush to add to your actual executable program. To do this, we're going to need an additional file. Now this is a data type. It's called the icon.dt.lha, and this is a data type that actually has to be extracted and placed into two folders within your workbench to allow the data type to be registered and allow the icons to be displayed on the actual toolbars themselves. Now we can actually go and find this quite easily. We just need to type in icon.dt.lha into Google and it will take us straight to our AmiNet database, and in there that gives you an idea of what this actual file is. It allows you the icon files for Amigas are .info files, and you won't be able to see those actually when you show all files on the workbench. If you're using something like Directory Opus, or you're actually searching through the file system using viewing by the name, you'll probably be able to see them. So here I've just downloaded it, and I've got the icon.dt.lha into my downloads folder, and I'm just going to put this on my programs hard drive in UAE, and that's as usual. If you've seen my other videos, it's in documents, FS-UAE, hard drives, programs, and I'm just going to paste it in here. I've still got quite a bit in here. I have to do a bit of tidying up in here, so I'm just going to paste it in here. Actually, before I start, let's just tidy up a bit. Let's get rid of those, because these are the files that I use to actually install ToolbarManager in the first place. That's visible on my my page. I don't need. We'll get into WH Loader another time. Don't need that file either. So I'm just going to paste that file into here. So there's the archive, and now I've got to extract this in the Amiga. So I'm going to jump over to FS-UAE and extract it there in the usual process. So let's just start the emulation up, and we'll wait for Workbench to start up. And as you can see, my ToolbarManager icons are just brushes at the moment. So we've put that file into here. As you can see, I've got showable files already on, so we'll be able to see that archive sitting there. And it's the usual process of double clicking on the archive and extracting it using a command, command in the command of LHAX appended to the front. So just go to the front of that and type in LHAX space, and that will extract out. And you can see it's extracted out four files there, but you'll only see, because one of those files is an icon file, .info, you will only see 3 because the .info file has been attached to one of the files, so you won't see that. We'll just refresh this this window by using the update, and as you can see, I should have extracted these to a separate folder because they're all over the place now, so I've got to go and find these 3 files. So if we have a look, I should have, so I've got the icon readme, which I'm not really worried about because it's quite simplistic to actually install this. Got the icon data type there, the icon LHA that I no longer need. So somewhere in here I've got there it is, an icon entity there. Let's just clean up. So what we've got to do now is actually put all these in the correct places. Now the place to put them is in the Workbench 3.1, and the first thing we're going to do is jump over to Workbench 3.1 and oops, I don't know what that was. Go to Devs and go to Datatypes, and in here you've got all those data types in there, and this is where we're going to place this icon data type in here. So just click and drag that into here. So that registers it into the dev's data type, and the other place we've got to place it in is classes. So that is in, we'll have to actually show all files from the workbench to see this. So on the root of the workbench, show all files, and then we should see a classes folder in here, and this is where you register the .datatype file. So classes, data types, as you can see we've got a load of .datatype files in there, so we just put the icon .datatype in here. Let's close this down a second, give us some space, and in here, let's get rid of this, we should see the icon .datatype, there it is at the top. So we can actually just drag this into our data types, and that's it, and that's all you have to do install. We have to reset the Amiga for this to work. So we just go up to the top, go to F12 and go, I'm going to just do a reset Amiga on soft reset. That's why I've pressed down, I think it's Control and the 2 Amiga keys, or Shift and the 2 Amiga keys, and that's just done a soft reset for us. So I'm going to click on ToolManager now and actually use an icon for my ToolManager rather than, because at the moment I've got brushes which are in here. So what we need to do is add a new object, and I'm going to do one for my ToolManager itself. So I'm going to jump over to the workbench, and so I'm going to click on volumes and workbench 3.1. I'm going to jump, because my ToolManager's preference is kept in the prefs. If I open up the prefs folder, let's find the prefs folder. Ooh, where is it? There it is. Opening up. Now I'm looking for the .info files. So there's .info files in there. So these are the icons that are attached to these preferences, these preference objects in there, preference programs. So ToolManager.info, and I'm just going to give this a name. There's a couple of ways to do this, and I'm going to just show you the longest way around first. So I'm going to put manager.info and click use. And what we're going to do now is just jump over to the dock, and I'm going to associate that with the correct item on that dock. Let's jump in there, and oh, I've got 2 tool managers. That's interesting. Let's get rid of one. It's not actually associated to any image. So this tool manager here, I'm just going to go over to images, and I'm going to drag the tool manager info, make sure the dotted line is above, and just drop it onto there. Click use and test, and what we should see is the all familiar tool manager icon just sitting there on the dock now. Now it does look a bit out of place because we've got to change all the rest of them, so we're going to actually change the others now. So I'm going to go for the overscan one, which is just here. So I'm going to double click on it, click on the end, and we can have a look in workbench, and again it's in prefs. So open up our press folder or drawer. So in our press drawer we have got an overscan.info. So OK that and use it, and that will mean that that has replaced that image there, and as you can see it's sitting there. So that's another way to do it. You can actually do it from the image itself rather than adding a new image. Let's do the time brush as well. So what I'm going to do with this one is go into my utilities and find the clock and actually drag it onto that window. So using the drag and drop of MUI itself to allow for that. Use, and that's just bring that out of the way and test that. So there we have, there's 3 ways of actually changing those images on that toolbar to the .info files. You can see that the clock has got a .info because we just dragged the actual executable onto that. And I'm going to do the same for the actual multi-view as well. So I'm going to show you that the so as you can see, the .info files aren't actually separate files. They're actually attached to those to the programs themselves, so you don't see those as separate files. But when you're obviously when I showed you when we was clicked that button at the end of the actual field, and we went off to search, we can actually see the .info files then. The same as Windows, you don't actually see those icon files in Windows if you go show all files in there. So we'll add our last multi-view file in there, and all we've got left now is the screen mode, so we're just going to add that. But as you can see, it's starting to look a whole site more better now, and also a lot quicker because we don't have to go and find these brushes. We can actually add these programs in and use the same icon, and you can't actually drag those into there, unfortunately. I thought I'd give that a go. So we'll just drag that in there. It makes it less confusing as well because we're using the same icons on our workbench as we are on our toolbar. So there we go, that's all done. I'm going to save that. Make sure you click save, otherwise you're going to lose it all. So there they are. So that is how easy it is to use the icons. Now, as well as the icon data type, there's also other data types out there. There's JPEG, GIF, so we're going to just jump over to Aminet and look for a JPEG data type, and they're all installed the same way. Dropping them into dev data types and class data types. As you can see, there's lots of JPEG ones there. So you've got a choice of quite a few there, GIF and JPEG. Just need to check to make sure they're compatible with the OS we're running. Workbench 3.1, so this one should be absolutely fine for our users. So just double check the actual documentation before you start actually installing any of these. We can also look for something like GIF as well, GIF data type. So using the modern day file formats. There we go, so we've got one here, GIF data type. So if we look at the README, we can obviously see if this is compatible with our system, and we can go ahead and install this, and this will be exactly the same way to install. So placing those into the correct file system, correct places in the file system. So I hope that helps. We're going to have to be able to look at some more tools for the Amiga lately in the next videos. Thanks for your time. See you later. If you like this video or any other videos on my channel, please pop over to my Ko-Fi site, or Ko-fi, however you want to pronounce it. And there you can actually support me by dropping me a few pounds, a few francs or dollars, whatever your currency is. All money will be churned back into the show, not just for buying me a coffee. I'll be buying resources and equipment to actually produce and enhance my current videos on that site itself.